Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I'm a third grade teacher in North Carolina. And today we have our end of quarter work day. So I've been printing a ton of things that I've found at home and I want to incorporate into my classroom, and it's just, you know, easier to print at school. But if y'all have not heard of the Stellar Teacher, I'll link it down below. It's a subscription website, but like, gosh, the incorporation of the science of reading is amazing in her lessons. I'm not extremely familiar yet, but I have to change my approach to how I teach reading truly next school year, but I'm going to like adapt towards the end of this year, or I guess the second half. Literally the lesson, the slides, the vocabulary, the lesson guide pulls out the text structure. Like it literally, if you've gone through letters training or some form of science of reading training, this is just incredible. It basically follows that, and it makes it so much easier because I'm like, if it's already invented, why are we reinventing the wheel? I sat down on yesterday and I don't even know where, oh, right here. I went through my standards and I'm like, what can I teach at the same time? Because we want to teach everything like together. And this is just fiction standards, but I kind of thought about how ask and answer questions is all year. RL2 is recounting stories along with central message, which from the beginning of the year we could do beginning, middle, end. We can do focus on summaries. Like these are things that we're lacking in that will help the kids understand the whole picture. Maybe it won't be as in depth as our lessons have been, but they'll understand the text as a whole. And I have to like accept that because I'm so math minded that I'm like, I need to break down central message to its easiest, simplest, what's the central message of this paragraph before we can find the central message of a text, and use all these different graphic organizers to pull it all together. And yes, some of that is still important, but I also see the benefit within this. So the main thing that is going to be like all year for fiction is ask and answer questions, central message, and characters. And you can incorporate, especially in third grade, we have North Carolina state standards, but they were based off of Common Core originally. So they're probably similar still. Well, they are similar, but characters, our character, we focus so much on traits, and then like our kids struggle because they don't know every trait and whatever. So if we expose them from the beginning of the year to the end and focus on all these different traits, then they'll be exposed along with how the character drives the story is the main point of the standard in third grade in North Carolina. And if we have them write good summaries and they could do beginning, middle, end with good events, somebody wanted but, so then, you know, that whole thing, then they can see the story, and then we can ask them the deeper questions. Oh, how did the character play a role in that? How did the character respond to that? What did the character do about that? So like, we don't have to do that all in the first week of school. Almost like I want a routine throughout the week. And I feel like that's what we've been lacking. We don't have a curriculum. We use many different resources. I think that's been the struggle because we pull from all different places. If we had a story to focus on for the whole week, and like day one, every week, we do background knowledge and vocabulary and like identify certain things about the story and then just read it. And then day two, we take a step further, and day three, we take a step further, and day four, we do something with writing with it. Like that progression, I think the kids would respond better if it was a steady routine like that. And then obviously I haven't looked into nonfiction yet, but it would be pretty similar. And then something I thought of for figurative language and poems and plays, I would love to have like a rotation. And I got this idea kind of from Maylene, Miss Calls Campers, how she does like weekly poetry with her students. LMB Literacy, I'll link the bundle down below because I believe she has it for a few grade levels, but they're figurative language poems. Now, in third grade, we don't break it down by what is a metaphor, what is an idiom, but I think what would be really amazing is if we do a poem or two a week all year, and the kids have a notebook for it. Like literally, here's the poem that will help with fluency, and it's exposing them to different figurative language phrases, but within the poem, it explains what the phrase is. He was so boiling mad, he was steaming from his ears. His eyes were tightly shut, trying to hold back all his tears. He was so boiling mad. That's the phrase. He was trying not to pop, and the feeling of annoyance he couldn't get to stop. He felt he was a tea kettle whistling, "It's ready." He tried and tried again to keep his anger steady. But he was so boiling mad, he bubbled to the brim. He had to let his anger not get the best of him. Fluency, okay. And then each poem, first of all, they're half sheets, amazing, so they can glue it in a notebook. And then each poem comes with questions. Now it says what metaphor is used in this poem, but I would teach my students like whatever the word is here is just the type of figurative languages, but we wouldn't get into what is a metaphor, what is a simile, what is an idiom. Just there are different types of figurative language that you will learn about in 4th grade, but at least they'll be seeing the words. What is an example from the poem that shows the boy is boiling mad? What do you think it means to be boiling mad? And then what's another situation you can use this? That is such a simple, like independent activity, and I got the whole bundle. So literally it's huge. I would love, love, love to do this not only with poetry, but then also maybe do like switch weeks back and forth, a poetry one week and then do a play the next week. Maybe with the plays, I could do more like context clues. That would kind of set up, I'll look if there's like plays that lends themselves to using context clues to understand that vocabulary, because then they're being exposed to poetry, they're being exposed to plays, which is RL5. In the beginning, we can obviously talk about what makes them up and things like stanzas and yada yada. Now those don't have multiple stanzas, but that's okay because they're never going to be asked. Well, I could be wrong, but they just need to understand how it flows from one to the next. And yes, it's poetry, but more the point of it is it's something fun, simple. Since it rhymes, it'll help them flow with their phrasing. And I could incorporate like this into a fluency routine where they read it to themselves, they read it with a partner, they record themselves reading it. Like I could do all of these things while they're learning the figurative language. So I'm really, 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 really excited about that. I will link that resource down below as well. MZ, multi-sensory approach to instruction. You can have a free account. I'll link this website down below as well. And they do professional development, which is, I did the fluency one the other day and it's so like, it just reminded me of letters. So I kind of like skipped through. I'm like, okay, I got this. But the reminders are helpful. They have freebies all the time. I printed out morphemes, I guess they would be. I haven't really looked completely at this, but they also have cute little things. Like I've gotten stuff laminated. I don't know where it is. Oh, yes I do. They have these bookmarks, which are awesome. And these are all freebies. So we used to have bookmarks, and actually, no, I don't think we made them this year, about the old reading strategies. And now these ones have the science of reading strategies, which are awesome. I have the older version and then the lower version, Lefty Larry, which is more fun for kids or struggling readers to help them remember. Cups, writing strategy, syllable types. These are just more friendly poems. I mean, One Track Mind Girl. These are more kid-friendly approaches to syllable types and things, because I have my Letterland posters, but there's so much information on them that like it gets distracting. Big cups for editing, and then they have little bookmarks for the kids. Like, so cute. And they have throughout the year different themes, and like I said, this was all free. I obviously printed it and laminated it and I'll cut it, but then they have like phrases. The dog got hot. Obviously this is a lot, like this would be more for an intervention for me, but I have those. So amazing resources. I will link everything down below. Y'all should check it out. Those are just my ideas that have been flourishing in my brain. I'm gonna get some stuff done around my room and I will check in with y'all later, but I hope that was actually, this might be its own video in itself because it's now 13 minutes. I'm really, really excited about all this stuff. So I hope that was insightful, and I will see y'all in my next video. Thank you for watching.